D2 Word Life here with the world's ugliest freaking mustache winner, Riptides.
First of all, no, that would be you. Because you have the ugliest face contest in the bag. And it belongs in the trash.
No.
Just like a certain someone.
Nope. No beauty freaking
Not naming names.
Beauty, that could be anybody.
Trash.
That could be anybody we know. But eyes is, it's like, okay, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and to me, you look ugly.
Yeah, and you look like trash.
With that being established, we're here to rank every single Royal Rumble winner from 88 to 24. And we will be talking about what they did heading into WrestleMania, or in one special case, what they did after their Rumble win that wasn't involved with WrestleMania. And yes, I'm also including the friggin' Braun Strowman greatest Royal Rumble win.
It was still a Royal Rumble.
Greatest Royal Rumble my ass, and more like it drug on and felt sluggish.
It was more of a...
Yeah, but anyway, the inaugural winner of the Royal Rumble was Hacksaw Jim Duggan, your boy Ho. And it was a 20-man Royal Rumble. It was just, the concept on free television at that time. And what did he do at WrestleMania 4 afterwards? Participated in that championship tournament, which he lost in the first round to DiBiase.
Yeah.
But where would you rank Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the first Rumble winner?
I guess average.
Yeah, there'd be better Royal Rumbles, and trust me, there'd be worse winners than him. But 88 through 91, the winner of the Royal Rumble, that was just for bragging rights.
I could say it's all right to average, because it wasn't really trash. I'd say it's all right to average.
I'll just put all right, since they would be better, since more Royal Rumble winners would be better in the future.
Yeah.
Then
it was still technically a concept back then, but...
Yep. But then we go to 1989, the following year, which this was the first 30-man Royal Rumble and the first one to be on pay-per-view, and this one was won by Big John Studd. Also, just for bragging rights. And Big John Studd also mistakenly is people think, oh, he won the first Royal Rumble. Yeah, he won the first Rumble on pay-per-view. Not the first Rumble overall. That still goes to Jim Duggan here.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer.
And
I'd say average.
Yeah, and at WrestleMania 5, he didn't even compete. He was a referee for the Andre the Giant Jake Roberts match. But, because of the significance, the first Royal Rumble winner on pay-per-view, I would say it would be average.
Yeah.
Like right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we go to 1990, Royal Rumble match that a lot of historians and freaking fans from that era believe that Mr. Perfect should have won. But no, the winner was Hulk Hogan, who was WWE champion at that point. Anyway, right? Like, did Hulk Hogan really need a Royal Rumble win? He was already the champion at that time. The big megastar anyway, right?
Yeah.
And what did Hogan do at WrestleMania 6? Had a classic with the Ultimate Warrior. With both the Intercontinental and WWE Championships on the line, which he shockingly lost. Because, Hogan always wins. But no, that wasn't the case then. Where would you rank Hogan's Rumble win here? I would say
That's great.
I wouldn't necessarily say great. I would just say average for the most part.
Yeah.
But I would say it's better than... I would say it's better. I think it's teetering on freaking great. Wasn't really a particularly memorable Rumble. right?
Yeah.
Of course, in 1991, the winner of the Royal Rumble remained the same, which was Hulk Hogan, and which means Hogan was the first person to win 2 Royal Rumbles.
Back to back.
And even though the winner of the Royal Rumble it was just for bragging rights, Hogan was named number 1 contender anyway and faced Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7 to win the W Championship. So, not the greatest Royal Rumble. I think this one was another average one, but which one do you think was better? Hogan's first win or a second win? Because to me, they're both about the same.
The second.
To me, they're both about the same. Not really too great, but not trash either. Right?
No.
That's just my opinion. Then we go on to 1992, which a lot of people say was perhaps the greatest Royal Rumble match, and that was one Ric Flair won for the vacant WWE Championship at that point. Coming in as number 3 and lasting the whole dang Rumble match to win.
I say all right.
I say it was great. You say it was all right. But Ric Flair did give that emotional speech at the end of the 92 Royal Rumble match that people remember. You gotta take that in consideration. But what did Flair do afterwards at WrestleMania 8? He would drop the championship to Randy Savage in a match that a lot of people feel should have been the main event, but not with Savage, but with Hogan, but that never happened. I mean, Randy Savage at that point he was nothing to sneeze at either. That was still a good match he had with Savage at Mania 8 too.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I would just put this one under great, at least. That's just my opinion. What do you say on it?
I guess.
I wouldn't necessarily say it was all right. I mean, we've seen worse than that one. I would just say great. Not Hall of Fame, but great. Right? Yeah, and then we go to the 93 Rumble, where the winner was Yokozuna. And this was the one at the end where Savage went for the pin, but he forgot the rules, and Yokozuna just chucked him out when he was still on his back. Right? To win the thing.
Yeah.
And what did Yokozuna do at WrestleMania 9? He defeated Bret Hart to win the championship, only to drop it literally minutes later to Hogan in that screwy WrestleMania 9 finish that everyone hated.
I say it's still Hall of Fame because he freaking still defended it. He won it and defended it all in the same night.
And yes, the 93 Royal Rumble was the first Royal Rumble match where the winner would get a WrestleMania title match. So I guess because of that reason alone, the winner itself gets a Hall of Fame, but the WrestleMania 9 one, that would be trash. We'll talk about that ringing a WrestleMania main event once. At some point in the future, right?
Yep.
Of course, 1994, this was kind of a 2-for-1 special. Vince McMahon didn't know who he wanted to pick as the Rumble winner, so he went with both Luger and Bret Hart.
Well, that's because Luger and Bret Hart both eliminated each other at the same time over the rope.
And at the time, Vince was trying to push Luger as his big main event top guy, while Bret Hart was popular amongst the crowd. And Lex Luger, that was a failed main event experience, so ultimately Vince went with Bret instead to carry the company at that point. But at WrestleMania...
Well, that's because Luger got hurt.
Yeah, and both men had a championship matches at WrestleMania 10. Luger lost his by disqualification against Yokozuna, while Bret Hart won the championship from Yokozuna at WrestleMania 10 after competing earlier in the night in a great opener with Owen Hart.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of like the Lex Luger one kind of teeters it on average, while the Bret Hart one is like a Hall of Fame worthy story. But this one's a 2-for-1. I would just say great for this. Is it better?
It was great altogether because it was kind of hilarious that they both freaking clotheslined each other outside the ring and hit the floor at the same time.
Yeah, so you gotta take with the good with the bad on this 50-50 booking one. So I would just say, Gray, would you think it's better than the Flair victory or no? Well,
I'd say it's teetering.
So about right
So
there.
I wouldn't say it wasn't great, that it wasn't better, but it wasn't awful after it either. So I was like, just teeter it.
So
just a little bit.
So about
Yeah,
the
so
same.
about there.
So about the
Yeah.
same, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we go to
Because that was the first time they've ever had a double.
the first and only time they had a
Royal
double
Rumble
winner. The first and only time they had a double winner, which we would
Yeah, that's
would,
what I said. The only time.
yeah, which we would see an accidental double winner or double controversy loser at one double controversy rumble similar to that later on, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah.
Then we had 1995, Shawn Michaels winning the Rumble, being the first one to win the Royal Rumble from the number one position, but a lot of people dump on this Rumble because it was the shortest Rumble in existence. It only lasted a little over a half hour because every entrant came out within a minute apart instead of the minute and a half to 2 minute intervals.
Well, it was still at the concept of where it was getting better.
And yeah, and everyone, and even though Shawn Michaels was a heel at this point, everyone cheered for Michaels at this point. He was slowly starting to get a lot of fans on his side. He would roll into WrestleMania 11 facing Diesel for the championship, but was unsuccessful in challenging Diesel, which Nash retained
I
that
say
night.
it's Hall of Fame.
I would say it's Hall of Fame only because that was the first time the Royal Rumble from number one won the thing. And he argued, and Michaels and Diesel arguably had the best match of WrestleMania 11 on a otherwise crap card.
Yeah.
So I would say it's Hall of Fame worthy. Probably better than Yokozuna's only for the historical significance. Right? Then we go on to 1996. Shawn Michaels was a winner once again. And unlike the year prior, friggin' Vince actually made sure booked Shawn Michaels to be his next world champion by defeating Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12 in that Iron Man match. That was 60 plus minutes long.
Yeah.
And yeah, his reign after that was not the greatest, but you know, it's still memorable, but for the Mania match itself plus a Rumble win, so I don't know where I would put this one specifically.
I'd say average.
Yeah, it really wasn't very. It was average, but other than Shawn Michaels winning, there was no other believable winner. I mean, yeah, the Royal Rumble 96 had the debut of Vader in it, but no one thought he would win. Steve Austin also made an appearance, but a slip-up forced Austin to leave the match prematurely.
Yeah.
And people remember Michaels super kicking Diesel over the rope to win the match. That was about it. No other participant was able to win at that time, right?
Yeah.
So I would say it would be on average probably better than Hogan's. So I put that there. Or something, right?
Yeah.
Then we go on to the tainted Royal Rumble of 97 win by Steve Austin. The reason I say tainted is because he was thrown over the top rope and eliminated, but he snuck back in and stole the win.
Well, that's because the refs were distracted by another wrestler.
And a lot of people felt that Bret Hart should have been the winner of the 97 Rumble instead. But instead of getting a championship match at WrestleMania 13, Austin was stripped of his title opportunity and instead battled for the championship in a fatal four-way elimination match at February 97's In Your House event, followed by that classic with Bret Hart and Austin at WrestleMania 13 instead.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's his first Royal Rumble win, but because of his colluded Royal Rumble freaking shit, Royal Rumble or Clue WrestleMania freaking trail and how he got his championship match stripped from him. I don't know where I would just put this on average. He did steal the win though. Or do you think it would be more all right? I think this one would be all right as well. Maybe at the end of average, beginning of all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make more sense if Bret Hart won it, which I believe that was the direction they were going to go anyway, but you never know.
Well, this was also the start of the feud between Austin and Bret.
Yeah. And there ain't no denying it. The following year in 98, Austin became the third man to win 2 Royal Rumbles back to back.
Yeah.
When he last eliminated The Rock to win it, and unlike the year prior, he actually got his championship match at WrestleMania 14 against Shawn Michaels, which he won, and became the face of the company during the Attitude Era.
Yep.
Yeah, and the 98 Rumble also featured Mick Foley competing as all 3 of his personas, which we reviewed a while ago.
Yeah, no, that was funny. He was the first one to have 3 fucking chances and still not win.
And yes, that was also the Royal Rumble where you kept saying, it's like green dust, blue dust, red dust, Hollywood dust, charm dust, that kind of stuff.
Ass dust.
Yeah, so about Austin's winning and going to WrestleMania, I would rank this under Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah.
But is it better than Shawn Michaels? I think it's better than Yokozuna's win. Is it better than Shawn Michaels' 95 win, though?
I would say, but that's not a popular opinion with a lot of people, so...
I mean, the only difference being is Austin won his WrestleMania title match unlike Michaels that year, he first won. Right?
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, but I'm putting this above the Michaels number 1 first Royal Rumble winner from number 1 win.
Yeah.
And then we go to a Royal Rumble winner that shouldn't have been the Royal Rumble winner to start with, and I'm talking about 99's winner, controversial Vince McMahon.
Trash.
He only entered at number 2, only eliminated one guy all night after a fully long-tried match story, and that was Steve Austin to win.
Trash.
And you know what's funny? He didn't even compete at WrestleMania. He forfeited his title match, and Austin got the freaking title match anyway, so that was just a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, that was the McMahon-Steve Austin feud where he literally ran around the entire fucking building, then came back just to eliminate Stone Cold.
Yes.
And then to run off again.
Yeah. So the McMahon win going under trash.
Yes.
End of story.
I'm sorry, but Miss McMahon should not have been in that Royal Rumble.
Let alone win
That's why I said trash.
Let alone win it.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we go to another controversial Royal Rumble win, and that was The Rock's Royal Rumble win in 2000. The reason I say controversial is because when The Rock looked to have the things won, it clearly showed Big Show eliminating him first. When he freaking dumped Big Show over.
Yeah.
But The Rock was named the winner of the Royal Rumble anyway, so what happened afterwards? A storyline with the Big Show. Big Show beat The Rock the following month at No Way Out, and then the whole main event was convoluted and made into a 4-way elimination match with a McMahon in every corner, also featuring Mick Foley and champion Triple H. When at WrestleMania 16, the main event should have just been one-on-one with The Rock and Triple H. We would get that the following month at Backlash, but that doesn't count here, and Triple H retained the title anyway at Mania.
Yeah.
So I would just put, honestly, I would just put the Royal Rumble 2000, the 2000 Royal Rumble winner, The Rock, as just all right.
I'd say it's like the ass end of average to all right.
Yeah.
Like I said, my opinion can be very controversial. Not a lot of people like my opinions.
I mean, yours is average. Ass end of average. Mine's all right, so So I'll just put it right there at the start of all right. This, because if not, I'd be putting it over here. Same spot.
Yeah, like I said in our other tier list video, leave comments if you guys think our choices are right or wrong, or if you think our opinions are just trash.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah, anyway. Then we move on to 2001, and the Royal Rumble winner for 2001 was Steve Austin again, who came back after having neck surgery. And people view this as one of the contenders for the greatest Royal Rumble, and this was actually his third Royal Rumble match win, a record that still has yet to be matched or broken.
Yeah, well, there's a few that have won 3.
It's like Steve Austin's the only one that won 3. The closest right now we have to winning 3 right now would be Orton.
Yes.
Which Orton already won 2.
Well, Michaels as well, because Michaels won 2.
Yeah, but Michaels is retired now.
Yes, but he's still almost tied it with his third.
So, Austin won the 2001 Rumble. He would go on to have a little mini feud with Triple H, but the ultimate feud he had was with The Rock at WrestleMania 17, where after a great 25 to 30 minute battle, Austin turned heel, joined Vince McMahon, and won the championship from The Rock. And won at what many people believe is the greatest WrestleMania of all time. But, the mega pop he got when he won the 2001 Rumble can't be denied either. So where would you rank Austin's third Royal Rumble win?
Let's hear your opinion first.
I would honestly say it matches his Hall of Fame 98 win.
I was teetering on that, so I guess, yeah, Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we'll put that. Actually, we'll put that right there. And next we have 2002, and 2002's Royal Rumble winner was Triple H, winning his first of 2 Royal Rumble matches. And he came, and this was at the time where he just came back from his quad injury in 2001. He was ultimately cheered, last eliminated Kurt Angle to win the 2002 Royal Rumble, but you also got to think too, he had an underwhelming main event match at Mania 18 against Chris Jericho, which he won. And let's face it, no match at WrestleMania could follow The Rock and Hulk Hogan's first encounter anyway, to be fair. Because the fans were absolutely drained from that main event, and it wasn't really that good anyway. Seemed like a run-of-the-mill mediocre main event match but between Jericho and Triple H. So, honestly, as great as the ovation was and everyone wanted to see Triple H win, I would just have to say this one was alright. Between alright and average.
I'd say it was great, but at the ass end of great.
I'll say it's average, you say great, but anyway, just for the pop itself when Triple H won, I'll just put under the ass end of great.
Well, it was also his feud with JR as well.
Yeah. Anyway.
Because JR was saying, I don't think Triple H is going to come back from this quad injury.
Yeah. But anyway. Now we move on to your favorite Royal Rumble event, 2003. But lucky for you, we're not talking about that world title match ever again. We're actually talking about the Royal Rumble winner here, which was Brock Lesnar, winning his first Royal Rumble match. He last eliminated The Undertaker, and then he would go on to face Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19. But yet, everyone remembers that botched shooting star press that Lesnar did. But he still managed to take the win anyway and win the title from Kurt Angle.
Yeah. I'd say great.
I would say average, and yes, this was the Rumble that freaking introduced, John Cena's Royal Rumble rap. B squared getting eliminated in like 30 seconds.
Your favorite of all time, B squared. Where you got D squared.
And this was also the Rumble that featured Chris Jericho getting a big-ass knot on his forehead because of that Tommy Dreamer kendo stick shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say this one's between the ass end of great or on the start of average as well.
Yeah.
So I think I would put Lesnar right about there.
Yeah.
Or here. Which one
I'd
do you
say
think?
there. Because it was his first Rumble. So it wasn't really Hall of Fame worthy, and it wasn't really all of that great, but it was still a little bit better than average.
Yep. And this one is a controversial one here, and and yes, we're going to talk about it. The 2004 Royal Rumble match winner, which was Chris Benoit.
Hall of Fame. No, there's no doubting. It's Hall of Fame.
That's the only time that name and Hall of Fame will be ever associated.
Doesn't matter. It was Hall of Fame.
But yeah, Benoit became this, as much as we don't want to acknowledge him, Benoit became the second Royal Rumble match winner from number one. But the first one to last the whole 60 minutes.
Yes.
And what would Benoit do? He'd go on to WrestleMania 20 to win that world championship in a classic triple threat with Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
As much as we don't want to praise him because of what happened in the future, we have to acknowledge this.
Like I say in every fucking pay-per-view that we review with him, I don't condone what he did outside of the ring, but what he did inside is what counts to me.
Unpopular opinion, but I have to judge this fairly, but I'll just put it above Michaels here. Since Benoit was the first one to win a traditional 60-plus minute Rumble match from number one. Unlike Michaels, Mr. 30-something minutes. But on a more positive note, we go to 2005, and
Michaels couldn't last an hour.
Yep, and then we go to 2005's Royal Rumble, and, well, this one was the one I was alluding to when we were talking about the 94 one, when Sheena and Batista accidentally knocked each other out at the same time. Of course, they didn't go with co-workers. Mr. McMahon came out, or more like he came out and sat in the ring because he blew out both of his quads during that. Had the match restarted just with the last two participants, and Batista won when he threw Cena out as planned. And Batista would go on to actually leave Evolution and defeat Triple H for the World Championship at WrestleMania 21.
Well, this was also the start of where Batista was moving out on his up.
Yeah.
Because Triple H was bossing him around and he was getting pissed off about it.
Yes, and the title reign that Batista had that would follow was his longest World Championship reign. He would hold on to it until January of the following year, after WrestleMania 21, where he had to vacate due to injury.
Yeah.
And he was also moved over to the SmackDown brand during his time as world champion here, so... What would you rank?
That's because Cena was
Cena went to
the
Raw
champion.
Yeah, and Cena
from the lottery.
Yes, he was drafted to Raw during that period. Batista went to SmackDown as world champion, but where would you rank Batista's first of two Royal Rumble wins? Like his big major one that made him a star. I would probably...
Yes.
Me personally, I think I would put it on top of great.
Yeah.
Considering it was something new, he was the top star being pushed at that point for the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
Oh, and we'll talk about his other one later. Next, we go to 2006. The winner of the 2006 Royal Rumble was Rey Mysterio. Did it for dedication to Eddie Guerrero. He actually entered the match at number 2 and won. And he would go on to WrestleMania to defeat Kurt Angle and Randy Orton in a triple threat match to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
Hall of Fame, I guess.
And yeah, and the big story going is like, how's Rey Mysterio going to last into all 29 superstars to win? Just the win alone, but the title reign that followed wasn't really particularly good. But I'm thinking it was more on the great. I was thinking it was more on the great side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking right about there.
Yeah.
Of course, you know what is a good Hall of Fame worthy Rumble? The Undertaker's win in 2007. Especially when the last 2 men in the Rumble was Taker and Michaels, and they had that little mini match before Taker threw out Michaels. And despite taking the loss, Michaels would get a championship match at WrestleMania 23 against Cena anyway. While Undertaker would go on to defeat Batista at WrestleMania 23 to win that world title.
Yeah.
And yes, Undertaker became the first Royal Rumble winner from number 30 to win it. You would think in the previous years when number 30 was a big freaking advantage that would win, but nope. It took till 2007 for that to happen.
Took until The Undertaker.
Yep.
Because right when his music hit, everyone fucking froze.
Yeah, I think I would put The Undertaker's Royal Rumble 07 Royal Rumble win at top of Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yes.
There's no fucking disputing that. I saw that fucking match, and I'm just like, I'm like, okay, Undertaker was injured. They're saying that he's supposed to come back, and then his music fucking hits. I'm like,
you
guys are all fucked.
Yep. Yeah, and then we go on to the second person who won the Royal Rumble from number 30, and that's John Cena in 2008. And at the time, it was well received because nobody thought Cena was going to win, going to even be in this match, considering he had that torn pec injury.
It's a Hall of Fame.
And the pop he got, even his haters had to cheer in disbelief at that point.
Well, yeah, because he freaking literally got that fighting Triple H when he fucking pec fucking burst.
I just think it's funny, man. I mean, John Cena came out, everyone went all wild, including his haters. Wins the Royal Rumble, everyone started cheering him, but then half the crowd went back to booing. It was like, wait a minute, we hate this guy. Why are we cheering him?
Well, no, I just like the fact that he came out with his head down and his music hits right after the doors open, and I'm like, well, yeah.
Of course, John Cena would actually face Randy Orton for one-on-one for the championship the following month at No Way Out, which he was unsuccessful to because Orton got himself disqualified. And Cena would lose at WrestleMania 24 in a triple threat match, with Orton defeating him and Triple H in a triple threat. But the Royal Rumble moment alone, just that alone without that, Hall of Fame worthy, I'm guessing, because of the ovation.
Yes.
Even from his haters, right?
It doesn't matter. He came back from a particular fucking career-ending fucking injury.
Yeah, I think I would put this one above the first Michaels win, right there.
Yeah.
And now we have 2009, where I believe Randy Orton showed up, entered as the number 8th or 9th entrant, and won the Royal Rumble match, his first Rumble. And this was like evil, like conniving Viper. Evil Orton here in 2009. And yeah, this is when he had his legacy stable as well, or at least the start of the legacy stable as well. So, and of course, he would go on to WrestleMania 25 and be defeated by Triple H in a
I hate to say this,
which many consider a boring pay-per-view. Which many consider that was a boring main event. They just saw Michaels and Taker at that time before Orton's match with Triple H. Not that it mattered because Orton would get the championship the following month at Backlash anyway, but honestly, because of the whole build, and they're like, oh yeah, house invasion, it's gonna be great. WrestleMania's gonna be wild. Only to be like, oh, if Triple H is disqualified, he loses. No one wanted that. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wanted a no-holds-barred, all-out war, but we didn't get that. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why I'm saying I hate to say this, but it was average.
Yeah.
I really do. It wasn't trash. It wasn't all right. It was just average.
I would put it above Hogan's wins on average then.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't put it above Michaels, because Michaels at least won the championship at WrestleMania 12. Orton did not at 25.
You know.
And then continuing this messed up trend, we go to 2010, where Edge made a return. I believe as the number 29th entrance or 30th, I don't remember. When he came back from a friggin' leg injury. And he actually won the Royal Rumble match. And he would go on to Mania 26 to face off against Chris Jericho, who he lost to. Of course, he would wrap up his feud with Jericho the following month at Extreme Rules, but by that time, Jericho wasn't world champion anymore.
Yeah.
And that really hurt Edge's momentum from the Rumble win, because you'd think the winner of the Royal Rumble would be a champion shortly afterwards, but that wasn't the case for Edge here. I mean, it was great at the time. It was well received at the time, but the story just didn't make any sense. Edge should have won that match against Jericho at Mania instead, but we didn't get that.
I'd also hate to say this. Well, I'm going to have to say it's all right.
I mean, this isn't a knock on Edge. He would have a way better Royal Rumble win in a WrestleMania main event match later, but this wasn't really good. Story-wise.
Yeah, no. That's why I'm saying I really hate fucking saying it, because it didn't really hurt him in the long run, but it sort of did.
So I just put it there between The Rock and Austin and all right. The reason I put him above Austin's first one, because at least Edge had a world title match at WrestleMania, unlike Austin at 13.
Yeah.
And then we go to the winner of the first ever 40-man Royal Rumble match from 2011, Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto Del Ho-Ho.
Just imagine if Alberto Del Rio freaking slipped and was eliminated like Austin was in the 96 Rumble, then the winner of this Royal Rumble could have been Santino. Imagine if that was the case. Imagine if that was the case, I'd be like, trash. No, you'd be Hall of Fame.
Be Hall of Fame for Santino.
But nah, Alberto Del Rio won the 2011 Royal Rumble, the first Rumble that had 40 participants. And of course, Del Rio won after last eliminating Santino, who tried to surprise sneak attack Del Rio, knowing he wasn't eliminated earlier, but couldn't get the job done. We almost lived a meme for like a second back in 2011 with that win, but what would Del Rio end up doing? He would go on to lose to world champion Edge in his final match for 9 years at WrestleMania 27. In the opener, nonetheless. All right?
Yeah.
And Alberto Del Rio wouldn't be a world champion until SummerSlam that same year after cashing in his Money in the Bank, but we're not talking about that. So we're just talking about the Rumble win and WrestleMania and what they did shortly after Mania. But honestly, I just feel like Del Rio's win was at the end of all right. Teetering on trash level. Yeah, I'm just going to put him here just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he defeated 50 people in the greatest Royal Rumble or anything like that. There was nothing like that ever. I'm glancing down at one of the pictures. You know which one I'm glancing down when I say that. We'll get to that later. All right. Then we go on to 2012 when your boy Sheamus won the Royal Rumble.
Hall of Fame.
That's going to piss a lot of people off. You know what Sheamus did with his Royal Rumble win? Went into WrestleMania 28 and beat Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds.
Doesn't matter. Hall of Fame.
You say Hall of Fame, I say...
Fuck you. Put it in the Hall of Fame, bitch.
It's trash.
It's Hall of Fame.
Jericho should have won that Rumble.
Doesn't matter.
And Jericho had the better title match against CM Punk anyway.
Put it in the Hall of Fame.
Sheamus is not Hall of Fame worthy when it came to his Rumble win.
Put it in Hall of Fame.
Actually, no, look, more goes down here. It's going in average. I'm not putting it in Hall of Fame. We know what happened.
Hall of Fame.
Go fuck yourself. Fine.
Go fuck yourself.
Fine. It's going at the end. It's going at the end, though. Yokozuna's win was better.
Fine. Compromise.
End of great. It's going at the end of one of these.
Hall of Fame.
It's at the end of Hall of Fame. I'll compromise. Either it's going to be at the end of great or the beginning of trash. Which one do you want?
It'll be at the end of Hall of Fame.
Just note, I don't agree with this motherfucker. You can tear him in the comments all you want. And more than likely, I'll agree with you.
I don't care.
And more than likely, I'll agree with you. In the comment section.
Blast me in the comment section. I'll respond. Trust me.
Ugh. Yeah, and then we go on to the 2013 Royal Rumble winner, which was once again John Cena. Only this time he booked himself a title match at WrestleMania 29 against The Rock of all people, which was bullshit because that should have been another Cena versus CM Punk match. But no, The Rock had to put himself over in that 434-day reign.
Well, that was Mr. McMahon's decision at the time.
Yeah, and it's like, and even freaking, I guess the original plan was to have it be a triple threat, but Cena dictated, he's like, nope, I just want one-on-one with The Rock instead.
It was technically, supposed to, but The Rock had problems with it because he didn't want to have a triple threat. He wanted to literally have a one-on-one.
And early in the match, freaking Rock got injured, and, well, the match wasn't as good as the WrestleMania 28 encounter, and Cena got his win back anyway, and won the title from The Rock at WrestleMania 29.
Yeah.
About his Royal Rumble win, I would just say it's teetering on all right to average.
I would say average to great. But mostly average.
So I'll compromise. I'll just put it ahead of the Hogan wins. Actually, no, I'll put it in front of the Orton win, because at least Cena won at WrestleMania, unlike Orton did the first time.
Yeah.
And next we go to a controversial one. If 2005 was the year that Batista should have won the Rumble and was the right guy, 2014 was the year he shouldn't have won the Rumble. That should have been Daniel Bryan's win. And you know what's funny? Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the Rumble, and the fans shat all over it. And hated it, knowing that Batista... It's pretty bad when Rusev was the bad guy, and everyone was chanting for Rusev at the end. Actually, no. That would be the following year. Everyone was chanting Roman Reigns, who was part of the Shield, to eliminate Batista, but that didn't happen.
I'd say trash.
And the fans shat all over freaking Batista winning the 2014 Royal Rumble. Of course, and even Batista himself said, I shouldn't come in as a face. They're going to hate me. This is Daniel Bryan's year, and no one wanted to listen to him.
That's what I'm saying, trash.
So at least in Batista's defense, he knew where the fan base was that management did not know or didn't want to acknowledge.
That's because back then Batista was just coming off of being a heel, and then they just turned him fucking face again.
Yeah, back then Batista was just returning to the company just to promote his, what was it, Guardians of the Galaxy movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then even Batista knew I shouldn't win the Rumble. Daniel Bryan should win it. And they're gonna boo me out of the building anyway. And Batista was right about that one, right? So
Trash.
at least Batista knew what the management did not know, or didn't want to acknowledge.
Put it in the trash.
And like I said, it's pretty bad when the fans were cheering Roman Reigns to eliminate Batista, but that did not happen. I'll just put it at
This is
the
the
bottom of
only
the draft.
time I'll fucking put it Batista. Well, no, it won't be the only time because we'll probably do an over the limit one too.
Oh yeah, and just for y'all wondering, Batista would not win at WrestleMania 30. Instead, Daniel Bryan would defeat Batista and Orton to win that championship at WrestleMania 30.
Yep.
And how
Two
ironic.
separate matches.
Oh, and how ironic is it that one year the fans were desperate to see Roman Reigns win against Batista and actually cheered for Reigns, but that did not happen. And then the following year, when Roman Reigns did win, the fans booed him out of the building and hated it too. And yes, I'm talking about the 2015 Rumble match now. Oh my, what a difference 12 months have made.
Yep.
And now at 2015, Reigns, like saying Reigns was a polarizing figure is kind of an understatement because Reigns was being pushed as a top guy, top babyface, and the fans weren't having it. It would take them fucking 5 years to book Roman Reigns' character correctly. By the way.
But that's because they fucking had him as a heel through this entire run, and then they turn a babyface just all of a fucking sudden. I even hated that.
I mean, he was a member of the Shield, which started off as a heel faction, but gradually turned into a face faction, and then Shield separated off, and then everyone knew that Reigns was going to be the next Golden Boy, which they hated. It seemed like a Cena 2.0 here.
Essentially.
And for fucking 5 years, freaking the fans let everyone know how they felt about Roman by booing the shit out of him every time he went on screen.
Trash.
And I hate to do this. I wasn't really a particularly big Reigns fan back then either, but...
Trash.
But what we did get at WrestleMania 31, we did get that first meeting between Lesnar and Reigns, which Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank to claim the championship at there in the main event. So it wasn't all bad. You know what I'm saying? There was a silver lining at the end.
Trash.
But as far as this Rumble match win, whose is worse, Batista's or Reigns's? That's a toss-up. They were both the same.
I say Reigns was worse.
Well, then again, Reigns was worse because even The Rock came out to help out Roman Reigns, and The Rock, who was the ultimate good guy, still got booed out of the building too. So I guess you could say it was worse than Batista's. Right?
Yeah.
And then we go on to only the second Royal Rumble match that had the W Championship on the line, and that was the 2016 Royal Rumble match when Reigns had to defend against 29 other people. Which this also marked the debut of AJ Styles as well, this Rumble we're talking about.
Yeah.
And Triple H came in.
That one was actually very interesting.
Yeah, and in the closing moments, Triple H came out as number 30 as a surprise entrance, big bad guy, heel authority figure, and people cheered him like it was 2002 all over again. And it's pretty bad that their big face, Roman Reigns at that point, was hated so much when he got thrown out by Triple H and signified, oh, Reigns has lost the title. Everyone cheered Triple H like he was a conquering hero, despite being a heel.
Honestly, again, this may be controversial. I fucking say Hall of Fame.
And yes, Triple H would last eliminate Dean Ambrose to win the WWE Championship in this Royal Rumble match. But he would go on to lose that title at WrestleMania 32 to Roman Reigns in another match where the fans hated it. So, we don't know. So I don't know what to tell you other than that.
Like I'm saying, this may be controversial. I actually liked that Royal Rumble.
Yeah. I would say...
I put it in Hall of Fame.
I would say it's obviously better than Sheamus's win.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Yokozuna's win. But would you say it's better than Cena's first win? Or do you think Cena's is better?
Cena's was better because his was where he was actually coming back from a career-ending injury from a torn pectoral.
Yeah. So I would stick Triple H's second win between Cena and Michaels' first win.
Yes.
Of course, then we go on to 2017, and of course, this was built as, so many superstars, great Hall of Fame names, big mega stars in one match. Which the match was ultimately won by Randy Orton, who won his second Royal Rumble here. And Randy Orton was associated with the Wyatt family at the time. We know the story. And of course, Randy Orton would eventually break away from the Wyatt family, setting the Wyatt compound on fire, and defeated Bray Wyatt in an underwhelming match at WrestleMania 33 to win the W Championship.
Again, I hate to say this, it was average.
I'm kind of feeling the same way. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Not taking anything away from Randy.
I mean, he is a veteran.
A fucking top star.
Yeah.
Him and Cena are the longest running fucking people there.
With Cena about on the verge of retirement now.
When Cena, yes.
So honestly, I think Orton,
I say it's average. I hate to say it's nothing to take away from Randy.
I think it's better than. Well, I think this one's better than his first Rumble win because at least he won a championship at WrestleMania that followed. Unlike his first time of asking, right? It had to come at the late Bray Wyatt's expense here, though. But then again, the Universal title match at WrestleMania 33 really wasn't that good either. So, really not a whole lot of options here, right?
Yeah.
So I say it's behind Cena, but next to his first win. At least his second win was better because at least he won the championship at WrestleMania, unlike his first win.
Yeah.
And now we go to 2018, and this was the first time we had women win a women's Royal Rumble winner. Considering 2018 was the first time they had a women's Royal Rumble match, so from now on, it's just going to go, female, male, whatever. You know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Asuka was the winner of the first ever women's Royal Rumble match, making history as we know it today, shaping up modern WWE as it is today, with the women being taken more seriously and putting on bangers after bangers like the men do. But unfortunately, this Royal Rumble win didn't really lead to championship success. She would go on to lose to Charlotte Flair, of all people, at WrestleMania 34. Thus ending Asuka's undefeated streak at that time.
Yeah.
In a match that many people felt Charlotte didn't even need to win. So, your thoughts on Asuka's placement here being the first ever women's Royal Rumble winner but losing at WrestleMania?
I guess great.
I would say I'd probably say great. I think it's at the bottom of great behind Brock.
Right?
Yeah. And then we go to the 2018 men's Royal Rumble winner, which was Shinsuke Nakamura. And yeah, it was great seeing him win that match. Everyone wanted to see Nakamura win that match in the worst way, but what happened at WrestleMania? He would lose his WWE title match to AJ Styles and then had a freaking ball smashing fetish, turning heel in the process. And it was just bad. Afterwards, it just went downhill after that for Nakamura's push. So, where would you place Nakamura here amongst these Royal Rumble winners?
All right.
It was all right. Didn't really amount. And his match with Styles at WrestleMania was mediocre at best. Not taking anything away from those two athletes, just that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
Putting it above Austin's first win because at least Nakamura had a title match. Right.
Yeah.
And then we go to your favorite Royal Rumble. In fact, it was the greatest Royal Rumble. Where Braun Strowman won the Rumble match against 49 other men to claim a green greatest Royal Rumble trophy. And then it really didn't amount to anything storyline-wise.
No, it is not trash. God damn it. Take it out of trash, bitch.
Okay, but where do you want it? What do you think about Braun Strowman's greatest Royal Rumble win that had nothing to do with WrestleMania or a title shot?
I'd say it was all right.
I'm putting at the end of all right behind Del Rio, because at least Del Rio had a WrestleMania title match. The greatest Royal Rumble amounted to nothing. All Braun Strowman got was a trophy and a green belt that never gets defended, so who cares? End of story. Definitely was not putting it on top of Hall of Fame. That'd be stupid. Let's talk about the man's win in 2019 when Becky Lynch won the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble match after not even being an official participant until Lana got injured. And then she would go on to WrestleMania 35 in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble main event, first ever Women's WrestleMania main event, defeating Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey in the process to become Becky Two Belts. Where would you place Becky Lynch's win?
I guess great.
You say great. I say better than Sheamus in Hall of Fame. Sheamus doesn't even belong in the Hall of Fame. He should be down there in trash.
He belongs in the Hall of Fame, bitch.
Fine, I'll put Becky Lynch right there in front of Sheamus. There we go. It's better.
Put him back.
Okay, I know I'm an asshole. I don't agree with Sheamus in the Hall of Fame, though.
I agree that he belongs there.
But anyway, the man gets Hall of Fame status. Okay?
Because that was funny as hell. In 18 seconds, he fucking just broke kicked Daniel Bryan after the kiss of death.
Anyway, moving on. We go to the 2019 Men's Royal Rumble, where the man's counterpart, Seth Rollins, won the 2019 Royal Rumble match. Men's Rumble. And Seth Rollins will actually go on to defeat Brock Lesnar in the opener of WrestleMania 35 to win the Universal Championship.
I'd say average.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, it was a good Royal Rumble match, all considered, but the match he had afterwards with Lesnar kind of felt average here. I'll stick it between the two Ortons. Actually, no, I'll stick it between the one. I'll just do that right there. Above Cena. Second win. It was alright for what it was.
Yeah.
Actually, no, screw it. He's going on top of average. I think his WrestleMania match was better than that long, drowning Iron Man match, too. Alright.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that, but that's my opinion.
And then we go on to 2020, where the winner of the Women's Rumble match was Charlotte Flair. Did she really need this Women's Rumble win? And she didn't even challenge for the Raw or SmackDown belt. She challenged for that NXT Women's belt that was held by Rhea Ripley at the time and won that belt at COVID Mania.
Trash.
A.K.A. WrestleMania 36. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it was trash. I would say it's alright.
Yeah.
But it's not the greatest. I'll just put it there. And then the winner of the men's 2020 Rumble was Drew McIntyre. To a great crowd ovation, but then COVID happened, so in the empty arena called COVID Mania 36 or WrestleMania 36, he defeated Brock Lesnar in a short squash to win his first WWE Championship in a WrestleMania moment that really needed fans. And that's not a knock on the performers, okay? Life happens, okay? I'm not being negative. Right?
Trash.
I would say, you would say trash, but I would say his Rumble win was more on the average side. Because at least McIntyre would go on to win the championship at WrestleMania, despite having it being no fans. Right?
Yeah.
2021, the Women's Royal Rumble winner was Bianca Belair, when she last eliminated Rhea Ripley to win the 2021 Women's Rumble. She would actually go on to have the main event match against Sasha Banks at WrestleMania 37 and actually win the SmackDown Women's title that night. And had an alright reign before Becky Lynch ended it in seconds at that year's SummerSlam. With this one, I would say her win would be average.
I'd say all right.
Fine, I'll just put on top of all right. Then we go to 2021's Men's Rumble. That one was won by Edge, which also this Rumble featured. Which that Rumble also featured the last appearance of Christian before going to AEW.
Hall of Fame.
Of course, Edge would go on to WrestleMania 37 and lose to Roman Reigns in a triple threat match, also involving Daniel Bryan, but it ain't going to take away his WrestleMania or Royal Rumble win here was great. So I think I would put it above the Benoit win.
Yeah.
You know what Royal Rumble win wasn't Hall of Fame worthy? Ronda Rousey's in 2022. Kind of felt underwhelming. Ronda Rousey returned after a 3-year hiatus, but not to so much fanfare. And her wrestling ability didn't seem to get any better. And she would lose. And she would lose to Charlotte at WrestleMania 38.
It was all right.
Fuck. I would just put it above. I would just put it right there. No, actually, no, her win was better than Charlotte's, but not by much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then we go on to Brock Lesnar's second Royal Rumble win in 2022, being the person with the longest duration between Rumble wins at 19 years. Of course, Lesnar, after winning the 2022 Royal Rumble, which featured Shane McMahon getting fired after the match, as we all know, the whole country surrounding that, Lesnar would go on to win the championship WWE title at Elimination Chamber, and the WrestleMania main event would end up being Reigns and Lesnar for the Universal and W Championships, a match that Roman Reigns would win.
I'd say great.
I don't think so. I would just say average, like the start of average.
Yeah.
So I'd set it right about there. His first win was better, in my opinion, right? And then we go to 2023, last year's, that time of recording, Royal Rumble winner, 2023. Women's Royal Rumble winner was Rhea Ripley, becoming the first woman to win it from number one. Just like Edge, Benoit, and Michaels did previously before her. And then she would go on to defeat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39 to win that SmackDown Women's title, which eventually became the modern-day Women's World Championship. So where would you place freaking Rhea Ripley's Rumble win?
Great.
Yeah, I think I would place it. Yeah, great. I agree right there. Between the Flair and Mysterio win. And then we had Cody Rhodes winning his first Rumble too that year. It's part of his story with Brock. Well, not with Brock, but with Roman Reigns. Which...
I would say great, because we still going. It's not really Hall of Fame worthy yet.
Because Cody Rhodes would go on to lose to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39 in the main event.
Yeah, and then he'd go to win at WrestleMania 40.
Or WrestleMania 39, I should say. So I would stick it above Cody's first win, like next to Rhea Ripley's here. The only difference is Rhea Ripley actually won the title at WrestleMania 39 when Cody Rhodes did not. But fear no here. We got two left. 2024 is literally this year's. Back in January. Bayley won the Women's Royal Rumble and actually would go on to defeat Io Sky to win the women's title at WrestleMania 40. And actually had a good run that ended at SummerSlam to Nia Jax recently. Your thoughts on Bayley winning the Rumble?
I'd say average.
Yeah, I would say average. I think it's better than Michaels' 96 win, though, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And of course, last one at time of recording was Cody Rhodes' 2024 Royal Rumble win. This time he would actually win the Royal Rumble, have that storyline with Roman Reigns, also involving The Rock. Wrestled twice at WrestleMania in the main event of night one with that tag match, and then go on to defeat Roman Reigns during night two's WrestleMania to win the championship in that 1,316-day reign under Bloodline rules.
Yeah.
So what would you rank Cody Rhodes' second and recent Royal Rumble victory?
I say great again.
I'd say Hall of Fame tier, honestly. Because that story writes itself.
Yeah.
I would say Hall of Fame. Probably about there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's our ranking for every single Royal Rumble match winner. Except there's one thing I need to do.
No! Put it back! Put it back!
Sheamus' win was trash. You can't convince me otherwise.
Put it back.
Fuck you.
It back.
Fuck you. No, I'm a fool. Anyway, do you agree with this list? Because this is our this is our list of Royal Rumble winner. I think we did. I think we did everyone justified.
Yes.
So yeah, that's our freaking tier list of Royal Rumble winners. This is just our tier list. Yours would probably look a whole lot different than ours, but this is just our opinions or thoughts. And where would you rank all these in tier list? Which ones do you believe? Do you believe Sheamus' freaking Royal Rumble win was Hall of Fame worthy, or are you like me and think it's trash?
It's Hall of Fame because it shut everyone up. Because everyone was saying, "Oh, Daniel Bryan would retain." Yeah. Because it shut up all his haters. Fucking all the Daniel Bryan fucking, and that's when it started with the no movement.
You mean the yes movement? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, this is our thoughts and opinions on this tier list. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and we will talk to you all later. Peace.
Deuces.